The Flash 789. Jeremy Adams writing with Fernando Pasarin on the art. So the Rogues were deputized, and this issue sort of continues that. Piper showed up to help, and he catches up with the family who are excited to see him, all that stuff. But the main talking point here is kind of the reveal that it's not just Wolf who's like, like obviously we've seen that he has powers, and maybe we should have speculated that he was really someone else, or he had. It's not like it's a different character. It's still his body, but he's being possessed, or he's being co-inhabited by the Lords of Order.
Yep. Weird flex for them to go for this warden from Keystone City, right? like usually it's Dove, or it's Naboo and Dr. Fate, but now they're gonna go after Gregory Wolf. So, but I like that because that scene where he stops Wally in his tracks, right? With whatever, and you're like, oh man, what is going on? Also, I gotta give Jeremy Adams credit for this feeling very much like a John's era book, with all of the rogues and the banter in between them. And when you add Piper to it, it felt like a comfortable hug.
There's it's a very pleasant book, and I don't think it hits like an incredible high, but I think the art from Pasarin in this issue is particularly one of the best that this run's had, and I think there's like when Wally decides to go and confront Wolf, which is after a fun moment where like Linda says, just ask him about this corruption.
Go talk to him. Yeah. Well, and then when he shows up in his office too, and he's just very smarmy Wally, which I love.
Yeah, I was into that. But it evolves into a fight where, he tries to chase Wolf and the rogues show up, and there's like a 2-page spread where it's Wally and Super Speed like punching each of the rogues individually. So it's this great 2-page, layout. That looks great. Even just the rogues standing there waiting for him look great. Like so much of this big last half of the issue with the fighting with the rogues just looked really good. And there's a fun sequence where it's like Wolf grabs him by the neck, throws him into like the glass where Mirror Master teleports him up to like another part of the glass, and then Cole just like has the ice gun blasting at him as he comes out. That's a really great little sequence, and it's all one panel. Sure. It's all just
it's all one panel, and then like when Mirror Master does that, it's like the portal gun. Like I'm not familiar with that game at all.
Oh sure, yeah.
That's pop culture, right? So you see half of his body going through and then coming out from another one, and it's kind of staggered, and Cole's waiting there, and then he gets frozen. Like it is it also makes the rogues look like a threat, right? Like you can't take these guys lightly anymore. They're not just some joke. So
and then you get to have the big, the family shot with Piper to help, and that's all good fun. So, but ultimately, like it turns out like this is the Lords of Order coming through Wolf, and Wally says, "Connect to my mind, see me, and know that you don't have to do this. You don't have to do the martial law. You don't have to do this stuff." Some of this is a little bit murky and like it's a bit high concept plot wise, but the part of it that I did quite like was Wally admitting he was wrong for not thinking that the rogues deserve a chance to be good.
Yep.
He basically says, look, I kind of jumped to this conclusion that they were still up to no good no matter what, and pursued that. And I shouldn't have, right? They deserve a chance to actually do something good if that's what they're really trying to do. And this issue ends with like him agreeing kind of like a ceasefire with Wolf. Yeah, it's like, okay, why about we still try and clean up the city without doing it this way so that we can do it more peacefully? And he's like, okay, the rogues are still good guys technically, so we're kind of working with each other for a bit.
Yeah, and it made me think of the Renegades from the future too. Like, is this the start of that?
So no, it's a really interesting little end to this, which gave me a good chuckle.
For sure. So. Well, and then them bringing up, which we didn't read, but that Flash Forward book. Like that page gets into that with him and Tempest Fugonaut, and it did give it like Wally does have this perspective now, almost like he's enlightened. That there's bigger things going on, and like I should have given them the benefit of the doubt for once. Yeah. Which the rogues are gonna rogue, right? Like it's only a matter of time before they slip up and start doing crimes again. But for now, Wally can give them the benefit of the doubt.
And it's worth mentioning that Wolf is still... It's not like he's been taken over personality-wise. Yeah. Like, once the Lord stopped talking through him and he lands, he is Wolf that's talking again. He's clearly referring to the Lords as like in the third person. And so he is like there. He knows he's working with the Lords of Order, but it's and this is all set up because we know Wally's spent time in Gem World and working with Fate and stuff, and he references all that, and that's how he came to this conclusion. So yeah, we have this interesting potential alliance with the Rogues going forward, and obviously we're starting the 1 minute war next. We're double shipping while that's going on, so that looks like it's going to be a fun arc. And I had a good time with this issue. I do think the Lords of Order thing almost did come out of nowhere for me, but I liked everything that came from it and the scene, which is Wally admitting how he was wrong and he should have believed that he could do better and so on. And then just the fun banter with the Rogues and also the family with Piper.
Yeah. Well, I love when Piper shows up and the kids start acting like kids. I love when comic kids act like kids. And all Jay wants to do is tell him his secret, his code name, right?
Yeah.
He's like, Harley, want to hear my code name? And it's real nice. And I'm still dying to know what Irie's new one's going to be. So we'll see. It's going to be revealed soon.
Impulsive.
Yeah, something along those lines. But then also Hartley finding out that he's working for Terrific Tech too. And him and Wally come into that. He's like, oh, you worked there too? And then, doing the buddy thing. So there's just a lot of character to this book. And, you can tell that Adams has an affinity for Wally and the family and everything. And it really comes through. So.
Yeah. No, I had a good time. I think the art's really solid. I think Pisarin nails all the action here really well. I think the coloring's very good. Everything pops really nicely. I had a very pleasant time with the book. It's not necessarily hitting super new highs or anything or doing anything groundbreaking, but I'm having just a kind of a comforting time reading it most issues. Yeah. So, what are you rating The Flash? 7, 8, 9.
I'm gonna give this an 8.
You know what? Yeah, I'll agree with the 8.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.